Cheers to the weekend.
Salud.
To Saturday. Ching ching.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. That's a Nera de Avola.
Yeah.
I love that one.
All right, so we are making Sunday gravy with meatballs.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not Sunday, it's Saturday, but we have family coming over, and
we're going to be eating it on Sunday, too. I don't
know.
No,
We'll see. I don't know. With the way our family eats, I don't know if there's going to be anything left over.
Maybe not.
So I'm doing Sunday gravy with meatballs. I know every Italian family has their own way of making it. This is just my way of making it, and I've been making it this way since as long as I can remember. So, all right, we'll try to take you step by step. There's a lot of components and stuff like that. I'm not going to serve it with pasta tonight. I'm just going to serve it with a big salad and bread. So this way people can grab and, go, and it's easier.
The good juices and everything else.
One of the things I wanted to show you guys, so I'm using the San Marzano tomatoes. Now, when you go to the store, you'll see that there's like so many San Marzano tomato cans all over, and you think you're getting San Marzano. There's a way to tell if you're actually getting San Marzano imported from Italy or the actual tomato San Marzano. So there's a little thing, it's called DOP. That's one of the things that you can see. But you also, there's a little label on the back like that. And that's a certificate that it is certified San Marzano tomatoes.
The image might be flipped. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. But, you're just looking for that little label on the back. So if you see San Marzano, flip it around. If it doesn't have it, it's probably just, I don't know, they use San Marzano, but it's not imported. So that's that.
All right, what am I doing here, boss?
Okay, so what we're going to first start out with is we're going to sear the meat. Now, there's a difference between gravy and sauce. That's just the way I was brought up. Gravy to me is when you are making a meat-based marinara sauce that has meat in it. Sauce is just plain tomatoes. That's it. That's all that you're putting in there. So to make the Sunday gravy, we're going to start out with, I picked up. I have short ribs, bone in. So these guys are pretty big. So I'm going to cut them maybe, or maybe I can even sear them like that, because they are going to fall apart too, because they're going to cook for a while. And then I also picked up a couple of short ribs without the bone in. So we'll cube these guys. So that'll be that. And then I picked up some Italian mild sausage.
Yes.
So we have a couple of those.
You got the mild? You didn't get any spicy?
No, I didn't get spicy because not everybody likes spicy. And then here for the meatballs, we have 4 pounds of meat. So we have veal, your chuck, and your pork. So this is all going to get, mixed in and everything, and then we're going to add components to that. So right now, the most important thing is that we're going to sear the meat first.
Okay.
So, if you could...
I'm going to put the sausage aside.
Yeah, put the sausage right in here. Because the
okay.
sink is completely clean. It's in the bag thing. If you can cube, not too tiny because they are going to fall apart, but like
inch cube?
Probably a little bigger, yeah.
Right.
I'm going to put my hair up real fast.
Do you have a special cutting board for this? Because if
Yes.
I do it on the wrong one...
No. The one, you can use this one, the first one. Okay. So that's for the meat, the cutting board for the meat. All right, just wash my hands here. I put my hair back. So we're going to get this thing started. So we have people coming over around 4. So probably won't eat until closer to 6 maybe. But beforehand, we'll have like appetizers and stuff out.
Oh, right.
All right. So you want to get your pot nice and hot. Put some olive oil in there. So
You get the, I'm sorry, I'm stepping on your feet and reaching across and getting a knife. What's everybody's weekend plans? Anything good? Anything good on the menu? Anything delicious you're sipping on? Hopefully not slipping.
we don't need any more accidents like we've had here happen. All right, so once that gets hot, I'm gonna add the big guys here. These big.
All right, so these are, I'm cutting them in cubes. About, you know, an inch and a half.
I would do even bigger, Rick.
Bigger than that?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you want it kind
So
of,
like,
because it will literally,
that,
yeah,
so
it
like
will
2
literally
inches.
fall apart in
The
there.
marbleization in that.
Yeah. And if you are going to buy stuff like this, make sure you're getting it from a good source too. You know, I'm actually just going to leave this in, these bones in.
Yeah?
I think with these guys, yeah.
So now the meat that I'm cubing, is that to flavor the sauce, or is that
So
that's
basically
something you're going to
That's why it's gravy, because you're adding meat to it, you know? Now, you can add other kinds of meat too. I know some people use like chuck cubes, like the ones that you use for stew and stuff like that. You can use that. Some people don't even add sausage. I like adding the sausage in there. I think it gives a good flavor, especially because the sausage has a little bit of fennel in it, so it's like really, really delicious.
Yes.
All right, so this is hot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sear the meats. We're gonna get them nice and brown. We're gonna remove it from the pan. Then we're gonna add a small onion chopped up, some tomato paste, and garlic. You're probably gonna brown it like just for a little bit. Obviously, you're gonna cook the onions a little longer because it's gonna get translucent. All right, so you're good there?
Yeah, I'm good here.
All right, I'm just waiting for this.
And I'll move the cameras over during this just because you guys got to see the sauce as it goes, the gravy.
I'm just gonna
All right, let me wash
get my salt here. Make sure you do season every component. I always season every part of the meat.
Do you want me to toss these over there too? And just do it all in the same?
Yeah, whatever works. I'm gonna put these guys in now. So
Oh, okay.
these are the big guys. So they're gonna go in there. All right. Now, like I said, I think every family has their own traditional way of making things, and that's totally fine. Because I feel like every grandmother or Italian mother, you ask them what they put in there, and they're like, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of love.
It's all made with love.
With love, yeah, absolutely. Now, if you could chop that up like tiny.
Like dice it?
Yeah, if you could do that, that would be great.
You got it. No, I mean, it's not that small of an onion, but it's not a...
Yeah, but we're making a huge pot. I actually keep thinking that pot's going to be too small.
It might be. I mean, it's 5 pounds.
I do have my really, really big pot downstairs.
Well,
my tomato paste.
You need to switch at one point, we will.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so I'm dicing these.
Yep.
All right.
And if you guys have any questions, just let us know. I'll totally answer, or, you know. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. It's just, the process of it is just, it takes long. Because the longer it sits in the sauce, the more the sauce gets robust and builds, like, character.
So it gets brown.
It gets kind of, like, brownish, too, because of the meats and stuff. But, yeah. Now, I know that this should have been started early in the morning, because if you could start it early in the morning and have it the whole day through cooking, that's like the best way to do it, really.
It's like when you're doing a shoulder roast.
Oh yeah.
You know, what kind of salad are you doing with this? You doing anything special, or are you just doing greens and?
I'm just doing a spring mix. You know, you could do a kale salad too, but I don't feel like having to sit there and separate the kale, and this is already so much of a process to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, once everything is done and set, you're fine. All right, let me see if I can flip these guys over.
I'm halfway done here on the onion. Is this fine enough, or do you want it smaller?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, you want to get a good sear, like a really good sear on that, and then you remove them. I actually need a big bowl.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to put them on like anything that's not going to collect the juice, because once you take it out, it's going to collect juice, and you want that juice. These guys are big.
What's that?
These short ribs.
Yeah.
Big dudes.
Yeah, they'd be good for slow cook and then doing on the grill.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I remember when I made this the one time when your parents came over and your brother, and we had no leftovers, I don't think. I think our leftovers were all gone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's so good, you know, and that's why I like to serve it with bread. You know, you can obviously serve it with the pasta the traditional way, but I feel like with the pasta you get so full so quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
And this is great for a crowd too.
The bread's great because you can just sop up all the juice from the gravy.
Right. All right.
It got warm today. Here,
Yeah, it did.
right outside of Philly. I mean, it's
hot today. It's humid. It's disgusting. All right, so Rick has the onions really nicely. Nice job.
Thank you.
You did a really nice job.
I've been taught well. I'm not up to speed yet. I can't cut them a quarter as fast as Roberta can, but
No, but they're perfectly tiny. They're good.
good. Well, I did something right in one of these videos. It's amazing. See, I might be coming along here. The entertainment value on my end might be out the window if I don't start messing stuff up. All right, what else do you need me to do here?
If you want to start
Am I chopping the basil?
garlic,
too?
I need garlic. No, basil. Basil's the very last thing that you want to put in the sauce. It gets wilted, but we are going to put that in.
All right, garlic, how many?
I would do about 6 to 8.
So 10, 12.
All right, yeah. So that's a pain just sitting here waiting. That's the worst part. Is waiting.
That's all right.
Now, if you have old bread, that's an awesome thing to use for meatballs. Just take old bread and put it in the processor and kind of crumble it up, and then you would add that to your meatball base.
Can you grab me a...
What do you need?
You want to grab me a mason jar out of there?
A mason? Oh, so you can do...
So I can just... There's 8 of these things, you know. There's that little trick you showed me.
Okay.
The beef skin.
There we go.
Thank you. 1, 2...
All right. So these guys, let me just see if I can show it to you guys. Nice crust right there. So you're gonna set that aside so I can brown the rest of the meat. Okay. I'm gonna add these guys in. Now this
Worst
right here,
part.
see the bottom of the pan right here?
Yeah.
So the bottom of the pan has all those bits.
Oh, you gotta save the bits.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the bits from the meat.
Yeah.
And then that's what's going to give your gravy that really rich flavor too.
So in case you didn't see the last time I did this, I'll just do it again real quick. The Roberta showed me this trick where you put the skin on the garlic, throw it in a mason jar, put a cap on, and just shake it up, and it pretty much just de-skins itself.
So you don't have to sit there and peel every single one.
I
have to shake it
it's really annoying though.
Yeah. It's like you're a
You stand in
bartender.
front of the air conditioner and do this.
It's like you're a bartender. Give yourself a good little workout before you eat all those meatballs.
All right, let's see.
So, because we have so many meatballs, I am going to actually bake them instead of frying them. Traditionally, yeah, I would fry them, but there's so much. We have 4 pounds, like I said, so I'm not going to sit there and fry every single one. So I'm just going to bake them at a 375 oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, just so they get like a nice crust around them. And then I'm going to put them into the sauce, into the gravy. You good there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just going to, All right, so I'm chopping these real fine too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be extremely fine, but,
Yeah, no, I'll give it a good slicing.
Fine. 4th of July is next weekend.
It's a good,
It's amazing because
something amazing for it.
Well, I feel like all these holidays, these awesome holidays, are all falling on the weekends. And it's not like we can, still do stuff, but,
Yeah. This is one of the biggest chunks of garlic. It's amazing. I worked up a sweat doing that now.
All right. Bring them over as well. Ground meat.
Smell it. It already
So,
smells
yeah,
good. She hasn't even added the onions or anything
Once
yet.
the sauce starts, or the gravy starts going, like with the tomatoes and everything, that's when you can start working on your meatballs. Because the longer the sauce sits with the meat in it, the more flavor it gets. And when you add the meatballs in, all right, I think everything just goes hand in hand. So delicious.
Yeah.
I think meatballs are one of my favorite meals.
Yeah.
I love meatballs.
Well, we were gonna do homemade ravioli.
I was gonna do homemade ravioli, but
for the amount of people,
it's not that there's a ton of people, but like if you have more than 6 people, it's too many. It's
more
too
than 4 people.
Yeah, like the raviolis are tiny that I make, but they're delicious. They're really. I'll have to do that one day and make it from scratch for you guys to show you.
Or the ribbon
all it is flour and hot water. That's it. And then you just use like a ricotta like mixture. We add a ton of different like cheeses and stuff in there too.
What was the one you did one time? You did like was it a pumpkin?
That was for a gnocchi.
Oh, right, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Alright, you got this. I'm gonna just sift through this.
Alright.
I think I overdid it with the
I'm actually thinking I might only use half of that onion. That was a big onion.
it's a big pot of stuff for sauce though.
Yeah.
Oh, you know the best. It does cook down. I mean, onions are...
Yeah, but the onions aren't going to break down that much. They're going to get translucent, but they're not going to break down that much. So.
Alright, well, anything you need from here, you just take. I'm still trying to...
Get the garlic?
Yeah.
Were some of them, like, really stuck on there?
Yeah, well, I think what happened was one of them I shook up so much it got real juicy and it kind of, like, oozed all over.
Yeah.
So...
Alright.
Now it smells good. Oh, look at that. You're going to have to show that. Show that to the camera.
Alright. And then I gotta add the sausage. I'm gonna get these guys nice and brown. These literally fall apart too. I got 6 of these guys because last time it went so quick.
Yeah.
I think your mom wanted a piece, but I think Tara took the last piece.
Yeah, probably. Or my brother did.
Yeah.
You know, what I like about your meatballs, I'm not saying this because you're standing there, but what I like is that you do this, you don't use a lot of bread on them. You know?
No, I mean,
like,
I use it quite a little bit.
yeah, but
you know?
it's not over bready. I've had meatballs that are over bready.
I think a lot of it is to, like, I add milk with the bread. You want the bread to sop up that milk, and I think that brings moisture to the meatballs, which is really good.
I'm almost done here with this. So
Okay. No problem. I'm just searing the sausage now, and then I'm gonna do the onions. I'm actually gonna start seasoning
the meat?
Yeah.
Okay. You said 4 or 5 pounds, you said?
Yeah, 4 pounds.
Jeez. I mean, that's like, 4 pounds.
That's about, it's about a little, I think it's actually even over a little. So, but it, like I said, it goes fast. Never, if it lasts, if anything lasts, I'll be surprised. We're going to have to cut fresh parsley too.
It's great too, because it's one of those things that later in the night, you go back and you...
Well, that's not good though.
No, I know, you're not supposed to. But it is...
Like
it is
late
one
at
of those
night
dishes.
when everybody leaves, you're like, ooh, there's like 1 or 2 left, or there's still meat like falling apart, and you go in there and you start picking at it.
Alright. Alright, give me 10 seconds here and I'll have the rest of this garlic chopped.
I don't really need it yet, so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
But you can smell now, you're going to smell the fennel from the Italian sausage.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I like to add sausage in there. because I feel like the fennel just gives so much more flavor too.
You know, that was not a potent onion at all. I've been really
good.
sensitive to onions over the past like 2 years for some reason. Never used to be, but for some reason, I guess, you know, age, they've suddenly been getting me. But this onion wasn't that potent.
Now, as you can see, I never added more oil to the pan.
Right, because there's enough from the meat.
There's enough from the meat coming off, so you don't need to add more oil.
All right, is this good?
Yep, that's perfect. All right, so this is the meat that I seared. So you have the short ribs and you have the boneless short ribs. And now I'm gonna just wait for the sausage.
Sorry, I wash here.
This is the only part that is like you just gotta sit there and like babysit it.
Yeah, that's all right.
You know?
And you know what that's time for? That means you have a sip.
Cheers.
Here. It really is. That's a smooth.
You know what's funny? It was at the chairman's selection, which I always go to. If you go to a liquor store, go to the chairman's section. You can always find good deals on expensive wine. What was I gonna say? I don't remember now.
I don't know. So should I be doing something with the meat there?
Not yet, because I don't want to start that yet until I have the sauce going.
Okay.
I gotta get those.
A lot of we usually do the meatballs like, you know, like that big, not that big. It's not.
I don't like big meatballs. I don't like those gigantic meatballs like that. I like them to be, I don't want to
45, 50 gram meatball.
Yeah, like around there, but nobody's gonna really kind of. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know. But you kind of want it like a golf size, maybe even a little bit bigger,
A little
like
bit bigger
a tiny
than a golf.
bit bigger.
Well, I would say bigger than a golf
Yeah,
ball.
but you can make them any size. Really, it's up to you. But
I just like being able to.
you smell that
Like,
fennel?
I know, it's amazing. Wow.
Those guys are big too.
Yeah. Maybe
So,
good for the
I
grill.
went-
You got all this
I-
stuff that's perfect for grilling.
I know. I went to Whole Foods and they just put these out. These sausages.
Okay.
Well, these you don't put. I don't do short ribs on a grill.
Yeah. Did you
Short
show-
ribs have.
No, I know.
did show it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Short ribs
Well,
are one
for
of those
anybody who
things
didn't
that they
see.
need to be cut.
That's the browned meat that's gonna sit there, and that stuff just falls off the bone at the end.
All right, I'm just gonna take these out.
Okay. So,
Really? How old are you?
I mean, you know,
How old are you?
pretty girthy.
Oh my God, I can't. All right, if you could add the onions,
Yep.
lower that.
Onions and the garlic?
No,
Just the onions.
just the onions first. I want to sweat them out. Here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want the whole onion. It's
Okay.
too much. So just leave that. We can pack that.
It's on a raw board though.
No.
I had the meat on here,
Oh.
so I'll have to.
All right, now the smell is, I don't know what it is.
Oh, onions. There's nothing like onion
Onions
smell.
and garlic play so well together. It's like, who even thought of that? Who even
Genius.
thought of putting those two together? And they're
I
just
just want
best
to know
friends.
who thought of pulling a root out of the ground
And going,
and going, oh, all right, I can eat this, you
Yeah.
know?
All right.
But the fennel is making this
I want to
much
show
better.
them real quick. See the bottom of the pan there with all the bits?
The brown
yeah,
stuff?
that is what, that's what's going to give your sauce a lot of flavor. And you kind of like want to like
Kinda like
scratch
scrape
the
it?
bottom of it. Yeah, scrape it a little bit. I am going to actually deglaze with a little bit of red wine, just a dash, but not yet because I'm
Okay.
going to use tomato paste.
And the deglazing it just loosens up those bits, right?
Yeah, it loosens it up, and you know, hopefully I have enough tomato paste here.
Tomato paste. And you've got the tomatoes, right?
Yep. You probably, if you want to open those.
Yeah, I'll open those. Is that enough? Is that going to be enough tomato?
I have more if needed. I always have. I might actually use this too. Passata. So passata, if nobody knows what it is, it's not cooked tomatoes. They're just raw tomatoes that you get from the garden. They blend it, and then that's pretty much what it is. So there's definitely a stronger taste to this.
So now I'm going to be doing it. I'm opening the can here, and for some reason, I always end up grabbing. Although I think we got rid of the bad can opener, but for some reason, whenever I do it, I have a hard time getting at the end.
Get my wooden spoon here.
All right, well, that one came off fine. All right, got one thing. So are they they're the whole San Marzanos, right?
No, I don't. If they are, we just need to
Crush them up.
Crush them up in your hands.
You want both open, right?
Yes. So here's.
Well, we probably have about 200 tomatoes in the garden right now. They're just not, they're not red yet, but.
So when you get like those big chunks of tomato, like the big tomatoes, you could just take a bowl in your colander and just kind of squish them in there. This is weird to say, but it's so weird. I can't believe I'm gonna say it. I do not like chunky tomatoes. I don't like chunks in my sauce.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
You like cold
crushed
tomatoes?
Yes, but cooked tomatoes for some reason, I don't know. I just don't. I try it every once in a while again just to like see if the taste came back for it or something. Yeah. But I think it's a textural thing, to be honest.
Did you put that there so that I go through that? Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take the garlic.
Take the garlic. All right, so I'm just putting it in there then.
Just do that now.
And then, all right. Oh yeah, all right. So it does have the whole San Marzanos in there.
So kind of just what I want you to do.
Just mash it in. You have like a wooden spoon or something.
Your hands.
Oh.
Take your hands, squeeze them.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean?
This is fun. This is like a.
Just squeeze them really, really good.
When I was a kid, I used to just play in the mud and stuff.
Except this tastes a lot better.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't really eat the mud too much. But.
So I just added the garlic in there to sweat out a little, like a couple of minutes. And I'm going to squeeze in my tomato paste.
Oh.
Okay.
It's satisfying.
So then,
this is very satisfying.
With the tomato paste, you kind of just want to like cook it out a little bit. Kind of breaks up into the onions and to the garlic.
Okay.
Okay. And then, as that's going, it takes a couple seconds, I'm going to need a little bit of the wine.
It's on the kitchen table.
Yep. So I'm just going to use like a splash just to deglaze the bottom.
That's a Nera d'Avola
Yep.
that you picked up.
So what this is going to do now, it's actually going to bring up those bits even more. Oh my god, the smell.
It's driving me crazy over here. So I've got the colander where I'm sifting it through. Do I just lift this? Can you lift that up while I kind of like push it through, right?
Yep. Here, move for a minute. You just kind of like, now you can remove some of the...
I just want to make sure it's all small enough when you do it.
And if the chunks stay in there, that's fine. You don't need to take everything out completely.
Yeah.
Here, you can wash your hands.
All right.
Just open it. There's a thing there.
Yeah. Trying not to get everything all dirty.
So I'll leave
messy.
some of these.
Not dirty.
I'll leave some of the chunks in there because it is going to cook down.
Okay.
So you just take it over.
Do you want me to hold on to those other chunks for now?
No, that's fine. Pour that in. And then I'm going to take the passata. And I'm going to open that up and pour that in as well.
These.
Of course, my hands are wet. There's my little opener.
I could probably get more out of this.
It's fine.
Okay, I'll set that aside. Maybe use that for something else.
Put some water in there and just shake it up.
How much? Just like a...
I'm just going to fill this whole thing.
Oh, okay. Because that cooks off, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long are we,
there.
How long do you let this, you know,
So,
stew for, really?
So now, the sauce, you really want to let it go for like an hour and a half.
Okay.
And just, you know, constantly check on it and, you know, make sure it's all right. Obviously, just hit that, yeah. I'm going to season it again. Always season because, you know, you need all that seasoning. Where's my pepper?
Black pepper?
Yeah.
Or the peppercorn? Well, you don't want
Black
peppercorn.
pepper.
There's black pepper right up there.
Pepper, and I'm going to use a little bit of Italian seasoning in there as well. And then
How
I'm just
much
gonna.
am I doing?
That's fine, black pepper. And I'm just gonna kind of
rub it,
Yeah.
release the oils, and
Yep.
then dump it in.
And then now we're gonna add all the meat back in here.
All the meat you already browned, right?
Mm-hmm. So just be careful because the sausages.
Are they hot?
No, they're just gonna fall out. Oh, you got it.
My hands are clean. I've washed them about 6 times since we started doing this.
Okay. Now, here, give me this.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got it?
Yep. Just gonna kind of pour it in because now all those juices that were in there, just gonna go right in there too. So that's that.
It's almost like there's no. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room in there. We might need to get that second.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need the really big guy.
All right.
So that's pretty much it. Let's make the meatballs.
Yep.
Because they have to bake anyway. I'm gonna put a lid on this.
All right, we're done with this. Let me get rid of this.
Now this is gonna go. Just let it go.
Or
So I'm gonna bring it to a simmer, and then I'm gonna lower the heat. And like I said, it's gonna cook for an hour and a half.
okay. Kind of slow cook. It goes longer than that too, though. You know, once you get the meatballs.
Well, once
in
the
there.
meatballs and everything go in, that's fine. All right, let's.
So you let it cook an hour and a half before you put the meatballs in?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Because then it's gonna cook for another little bit, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So I already seasoned with salt
All right.
the meat. Like I said, we have veal, pork, and chuck in here. So I added the salt. I'm gonna put some pepper.
Do you want me to chop the? What are we doing here? Parsley?
Yeah. I need some pepper.
How much parsley do you need?
I would do that whole thing.
This whole thing?
Yep.
All right, so a full bunch of
Yep.
parsley.
We're gonna need 2 eggs. And we're gonna need.
All right.
And I picked up some Lucatelle, which is Pecorino Romano.
I love the smell of parsley.
All right, so we're gonna do.
The cat thinks I'm talking about it. It's eyeing me up from the corner of the room.
You might need to add another egg, but I think I'm just gonna do 2 eggs right now because I'm gonna add milk to this.
Okay.
So we're gonna do. I'm actually gonna do half. So I'm gonna do half a Pecorino Romano, and then I'm gonna do half Parmesan.
Now, are you making a Parmesan cream?
I might. Parmesan cream. What Parmesan cream is just heavy cream with some Parmesan in it, blended, and then you can use it as like, I don't know, you can put it on pizza and
Gives it
pretty
that
much
extra,
anything.
Yeah.
I like the two, like the Parmesan and the Pecorino together because I feel like one gives it a little nutty flavor, the other one's a little salty, so that works out beautifully.
Am I also chopping the basil for this?
No basil.
Okay.
I'm gonna add some panko crumbs. So like I said, if you have old bread, you can blend it and do that. I'm not gonna do that right now. But if you do, that's perfect.
You wanna? I'm gonna go
Put it right in
past
there?
it.
Yep.
Toss that in.
Perfect. Okay. So, see, it's all about, this is what's hard for me to put the recipe up because it's all about eyeballing it.
Hi, Rhonda.
It's all about just seeing how it feels once you squish everything together. I am going to add some Italian seasoning in there as well, by about a tablespoon or so. Same thing, just kind of break it up. All right, so we got that, and we need milk.
Milk.
Now, this is the thing. Don't use fat-free milk. Don't use stuff like that. You can use 2% or whole milk. That's, that's part of. So this is kind of your eyeballing it up too. Leave that out for now.
Okay.
Just in case. All right, now I'm going to start to kind of incorporate everything together.
So, and like you said, you normally pan sear these, and then.
I usually pan sear them, but I'm not going to sit here.
No, there's too many. There's too many for this batch. So, all right. So we'll bake them, and then we're gonna.
Yeah,
how long are you baking them for?
It's at 375 for about 8 to 10 minutes. Depending on the size of your meatball, and obviously, you just want it to get like a nice brown coat to it. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Did we put garlic in here? Nope.
No, I did not. You want chunks of garlic? You want fresh garlic, right?
I mean, I would prefer fresh garlic. I mean, you could use granulated garlic if you would like. I just like to use fresh garlic.
Yeah.
Probably that. If I were you...
You know what? Should I just open the new one?
Probably. If I were you...
Because it's got the bigger...
Yeah. If I were you, though... Actually, I'll do that part because it'll be quicker if I use it with the...
That was her way of saying I'm slow.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No.
Anyway, so here's what we got so far.
Well, it's not really mixed, though.
No, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Working on it. To invest in a phone stand, angle over stove. I know. So we did get a stand, and it doesn't quite work the way we thought it would. So
I know a lot of requests for that.
I'll bring you over in a little bit to show you the sauce once it gets a little more.
I think you put the milk to the side for or take it. Yeah.
I'll put it in the fridge.
Yeah, put it in the fridge for now. If I need more, I'll let you know.
What are we doing for dressing? You just doing like a vinaigrette?
I'm not worried about that yet. Probably just a basic, olive oil and,
Yeah. So what's everybody doing on their Saturday? Anything good? Clamp phone holder donated to you guys. Thank you. Might have to take you up on that. It all, we don't have exactly the best setup because
the kitchen is small too.
It's like L-shaped and it's very tiny, and it's my great grandmother used to cook in here, and she had one of those old accordion.
Sorry, I just want to make sure it wasn't
one of the accordion doors over the door, and it had to get. I mean, she was known for all the Italian cooking she used to do, so she would sit in here and
I don't know how she did it, to be honest.
It's hot in here now. We have the air conditioner on, All right, thank you, Rhonda. I'll have to coordinate with you. Do you want me to chop them while you're?
No, we're not chopping them.
You're crushing them. You want me to crush them in here?
If you want, can you do it fast though?
Can I do it fast?
Because
no.
I think people got places and things to do.
Yeah, I mean, I can just do this, right?
Oh boy.
Is it supposed to come off of here?
Oh my god. Here, give me.
I mean, you can use a spoon, right?
Who puts it in like that? Why would you put it in like that?
I don't know. How else are you supposed to buy it? I've never used one of those before. I've always chopped by hand. You got to show me how to put it in with the next one, because I don't.
It's still not one of my favorite things to use, though. I like my regular. Where's my
You
little?
want me just to chop them?
No. Here we go.
It sounds like you wanted them
Here.
chopped.
No, just hand that over to me and I'll.
All right, here's these. Got a couple cloves.
Okay.
Why don't you want them chopped?
Because then you're getting big chunks of garlic in your.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
No, I don't. Not in my.
Not in the meatballs. You want it consistent. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I got
And I like them like this too, because just, you know, I feel like it's bringing out the flavor in the...
Okay. All right, I've got this, I think I got one more here. You want more?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just dump all those little leaves or whatever, the little casings. Okay.
Got it. In here. Oh.
All right.
See, the kids are really good about taking out the recyclables usually, but we really need to be able to snap our fingers and then just have them come and, you know, clear out the trash can. We've filled it already.
All right, so now I go back in there.
Follow instructions. You know, depends on the day of the week at how well I am at doing that.
All right. Now, when you're rolling meatballs, the best thing to do is to have either a little
Like
bowl.
an ice cream scoop or something?
No, a bowl, and you wet your hands because you want your hands to be somewhat.
Oh, a bowl.
Wet.
A bowl to have water in.
Yeah.
If you can...
Under here, yep. All right, so that's pretty much incorporated. And what we're gonna do is just fill that up. And if you can get the one baking dish.
Got it.
So you want your hands to be moist because every time you're rolling it, it could start to stick on you. And you want your hands to be, you know. So I do them when I make them about this size, like that. So I don't like anything bigger than that. And so we're just gonna line.
This I actually can handle doing.
Okay.
But, you know.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too.